Hello, Kelly from Mayhem to Manners here. I want to show you how to charge the Dogtra IQ. So, you have your charger piece with a special clasp for the remote collar, your remote, and your collar. First things first is you want to locate these red dots. There's one on your receiver and one on the back of your remote. Okay, these red dots are magnets and they're going to activate and deactivate your collar piece. So when you put these magnets together, you're going to watch this little LED light here. You're going to see it turn green and turn on. It'll start flashing green. So that means you're on, you're good to go with your collar. Your remote is always just in standby. So there's actually no turn on and off switch on here. So if you press any of the buttons, you'll see those green lights illuminate. That means you're on, you're good to go if it's blinking on both pieces. What I like to get in the habit of doing is pressing this bottom button. See how that has a P on it? I press the bottom button and it'll actually make the remote collar vibrate. So that means you know you're good to go. When it's green, you have a full battery, you're good to go. You'll see it turn orange, and that means you might have a half a day. And when it's red, it's gonna start dying. You're gonna need to charge it soon. They do have different battery lives. So because the remote collar is so small, this will last you up to 2 days. So sometimes a day and a half if you're using it a lot, a day and a half to 2 days for the collar itself. The remote, 2 weeks or more sometimes between charging, because this isn't only ever doing anything unless you're tapping the button, okay? Let's see here. So let's say it's starting to die. You see it turn orange or red and you want to charge it. You're going to locate the charging port on the back of the remote. And that's where this piece is going to go. The round piece is going to go into your charging port here. Plug that in there. The little bit more complicated one is going to be charging your remote collar. Collar piece itself. But do you see those brass, those gold rings? Those are going to go with each other. So you'll see on the top of here it says LED side first. What that means is this little bump is going to go into the LED light first. So that way that those brass circles are going to be able to touch each other. That's how this actually gets charged. So you're going to put that piece into the LED light, and then you're going to click it in. You know it's on if you wiggle around a little bit and it stays, okay? When you plug this in, those lights on there are going to be red when they're charging and green when they're done. They'll be a solid red when they're charging and they'll turn green when it's done charging. It's a rapid 2-hour charge, so it should be fully charged within 2 hours usually. Sometimes if the collar piece is really dead, it might take closer to 3, so don't panic if it does. To unplug everything, you're going to unplug it from the wall first, and then to take it off of the remote collar, you're going to just lift on the back side of the charging piece where that little lip was, and then unplug it from the remote. Because the remote piece does not actually need to be charged as often, you'll likely only charge the collar piece itself. You don't want to overcharge your collars and charge them every single day, or charge the collars or the remote when they don't need them. If they don't need the charge and you're charging them, that'll actually deplete the battery life. You'll notice pretty quickly that it's not holding a charge as long as it used to. So only charge it when it's starting to get low, or if you think, gosh, it's been maybe a day and a half and you want to make sure you have a good collar that day, go ahead and throw the collar piece on the charger to make sure, but try not to make a habit out of doing that all the time. So another reason why I like to press that pager on the bottom here, when I press and hold that, it vibrates. The other reason I do that is to make sure I actually do have a good full charge. If you turn this on, it shows you that it's green just to show you that you turned it on. Pressing the pager ensures that you are actually at a full battery charge. To turn your collar off, you're gonna locate those red dots again, put the red dots together. You saw that turn red for a moment and shut off. I just tested to see if it vibrated and it didn't, so I know I shut it off properly. So again, red dots to go together, green light turns on, Vibrates, we're good to go. Red dots go together. Wait for the red light to turn off. All right, let me know if you have any questions.